Enigmites. We're going to come to this is how we do our investigation on it. Steve, something happened, right? Some weird things were happening, right?
Weird, yeah.
Weird things.
And not just a one-off. Not just if it's a one-off, it's like okay.
Yeah.
But
weird
for
stuff
as much as happened there. Yeah.
Over a 10-year period, man, some very strange stuff happened.
Yes.
Steve, was it wolves?
No.
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, not at all, right? Steve, was it a grizzly? Was it a pack of angry grizzly bears?
Maybe some of those 130 disappearances, sure.
Right, yeah.
But
that's very, you see, that's why I keep you around, man. That is a great point. A percentage of those we cannot rule out might have been a wildlife attack. We're talking about like this is the outback. This is hard living Alaska, where a toothache and a kidney stone will probably put you in the grave out there. You ain't nowhere near help, right?
Yeah.
So we can't rule that out, but we can say that at least 98% of what was going on in this town was not caused by a pack of angry grizzly bears, right, Steve?
Right. Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
Yeah. And we can also go a little step further. These people, the ones that were recovered, they were not eaten, right? They did not report being gnawed on or anything like that. Nothing ate them, right? So these were kills, right? Something killed them, right?
They were attacked by something more than just your typical wildlife creature.
Right. And then we could say that whatever, based on the reports and describing the wounds and the moose thing, that this thing had above normal strength levels. Yeah.
That's a fair assessment.
So, right? Say I don't know what, maybe he's in the parkour or I don't know, whatever this thing is, but like I said, this thing is strong. We'll say that it's strong, right? Definitely strong. Mm-hmm. So here's my next question, Steve. Again, could it be a man doing all this?
You would have to be a pretty strong,
like Andre the Giant levels.
Strong man. Yeah.
Right. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you think it was a man?
Again, maybe a small fraction of these cases. I can't rule that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but do I think that a man having his head exploded, and the metal equipment being bent and destroyed, a man's not doing that.
Yeah. So again, man, when we start ruling out things that are, what possibly could be, whatever's left over, no matter how crazy it sounds, has to be considered as a possibility for what this is. And when you take into consideration the eyewitness account from the Native Americans and his name here, I'm looking at his name real quick, man, the fisherman, man, Tom Larson.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go with the Kushtaka, man, or the Natinqa, or whatever. I got to go with that, man. I got to go with it, Steve.
And like
here it is, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this, I felt the gears grinding. Right, it's right here. It's right here in his mouth. It's stuck right there. He doesn't want to come out and say it, right? But it's like right there.
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say that I'm not going to definitively say that it was these creatures, right?
Right.
But I'm not going to rule out the possibility that there is something
there,
not human, not normal animal out there.
Yeah,
it's possible. I can't rule it out
because
these are just some wild tales, And one thing I read too is, there's tales, there's legends, there's folk history, sure, but this was very well documented. One thing that I saw was that, even while it was happening and, as people were leaving, and even for many years after it was happening, there was a lot of documentation on this in newspapers and other media in the area. There was, I think what I have down here, the large newspaper, the Anchorage Daily News,
right? They
were constantly interviewing former residents of Portlock and getting their accounts of what was happening. So again, this isn't just a tale that has just kind of been passed down. This was documented.
Yeah. And Steve, you know what else strikes me about this, man, is that what you just said, man, it was well documented. the longevity of it, like a 10-year period, right? And the stories, right? They're fascinating, but man, they are never bombastic. It's never like the demons, the tree demons. It was never. It was like, yo, this is what's happening. This is what it is, right? And a feature that they describe these things having that stands out are glowing red eyes, right?
I saw that too mentioned quite a few times.
But so yeah, man, like, and back then, like we've talked about several cases here before, man, that they were much more open back in the day to communicate these things and put them in the paper. Now you get laughed at and people don't believe anything. But back then, man, like they closed schools, Steve. We know they closed schools. They would bring in professional hunters and they would lock your doors. They would set curfews, right? And we did we did the Wampus, the Pugwudgie, the Wampus cat hunt. They brought in 2 mountain men to try to track whatever that thing was down, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And another thing too, man, that makes me makes me believe in this very, very, a lot actually, is that these were hard people, man. Like these were hard men. You know what I mean? Like these were this didn't happen like this once and then like every 10. This was went on for years and they still stayed there.
Yeah.
That hunter that you named, he knew what was going on and he still went in those woods. These were hard people, bro. Not easily ran off. And it ran them off. Like it eventually got enough of them or the right ones and the people left. So for me, bro, I absolutely 100% believe these tales, man. And you know I was going with that, man.
Oh, of course.
So, but you're not going to say you believe it, but you're not going to rule it out, right? You're going to ride that fence, right? So, all right. Because that book back there, we talk about the Book of Enoch and the Nephilim and how
I was waiting for you to bring it up. I was waiting. You
got something to add to it?
No, I don't think I've seen or been on an episode where it was not mentioned.
Yeah, and again, man, if you ask me where I think these Bigfoot creatures come from, that's where I follow where it was talking about how they were hybrid creators, man. And this is the most violent string of Bigfoot attacks that I've ever heard of. That's extremely well documented. Again, if you don't I said this in my live last night. I don't want us to be your last stop. You need to go out and read these yourself and then read these stories and then come back and tell us what you've learned and we'll do follow-ups for it. So I'm going to tell you what I think this thing is, Steve. And I'm going to tell you, man, the otter man is what makes this stand out.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.